How the cloud actually works, explained simply. Most people hear the word cloud and imagine something abstract, something floating, something vague. But the cloud is not mysterious. And it's not really a cloud. The cloud is simply other people's computers, very powerful ones, running all the time, connected to the internet. Instead of using only the computer in front of you, you're using computers somewhere else. That's the core idea. Everything else is just details. Before the cloud existed, almost everything worked locally. If you wanted to store photos, they lived on your hard drive. If you wanted to run software, you installed it on your machine. If a company needed a website, they bought their own server, put it in a room, kept it cool, kept it running. That worked, but it came with limits. If the computer broke, the data was gone. If traffic suddenly spiked, the server crashed. If you needed more power, you had to buy new hardware. The cloud solved these problems by changing one thing: location. Instead of your files living on one machine, they live in data centers. Data centers are huge buildings filled with computers, thousands of them, sometimes millions. They have backup power, redundant internet connections, fire suppression, security. These computers are designed to never stop. When you upload a photo to the cloud, it doesn't sit on a single computer. It's copied, split, stored in multiple places. If one machine fails, another one already has your data. From your perspective, nothing happens. That's why the cloud feels reliable. Now let's talk about access. When you open an app or website that uses the cloud, your device sends a request over the internet. That request says something simple. I need this file. I want to load this page. I want to save this change. The cloud receives that request. A system decides which computer should handle it. The response is sent back. This all happens in milliseconds. You don't see the decision-making. You just see the result. That invisibility is intentional. One common misconception is that the cloud is one place. It's not. Cloud systems are distributed across the world. Your data might be stored in Europe, backed up in another country, and mirrored somewhere else. The cloud provider decides where things live based on speed, cost, and reliability. That's why cloud services feel fast, even when millions of people use them at the same time. Load is spread out. No single computer is doing all the work. Another misconception is that the cloud is only storage. Storage is part of it, but it's only the beginning. The cloud also runs software. When you use an online document editor, the app itself isn't running on your device alone. The logic runs on cloud servers. Calculations, processing, saving, collaboration. Your device is mostly a window. This is why you can switch devices and everything is still there. Nothing essential lives on your phone or laptop. Now let's talk about scale. This is where the cloud really matters. Imagine a website that suddenly becomes popular. Without the cloud, the server would overload, slow down, crash. With the cloud, something different happens. More computing power is added automatically. More servers spin up. Traffic is balanced. Performance stays stable. When demand drops, those extra resources are turned off. You only use what you need. This is why cloud systems are cost-effective. You're not paying for idle machines. This leads to another important idea. The cloud is elastic. It stretches and shrinks. That elasticity is why startups can compete with large companies. They don't need massive infrastructure up front. They grow as they need to. The same tools used by global platforms are available to small teams. That changes who can build things. Security is another area people worry about. It feels risky to store data somewhere else. But in reality, cloud data centers are often more secure than personal computers. They use encryption, access controls, monitoring, multiple layers of protection. That doesn't mean the cloud is invulnerable, but it does mean most breaches happen because of poor configuration, not because the cloud itself is unsafe. The cloud provides tools. How they're used still matters. Now let's address the name. Why is it called the cloud? Originally, network diagrams drew the internet as a cloud shape. It meant, don't worry about what's inside here. The term stuck. But the danger of the name is that it hides the reality. The cloud feels abstract, but it's very physical. Cables, buildings, electricity, nothing is floating. There's also a psychological shift that happens with the cloud. Ownership changes. You don't own the machine. You don't manage the hardware. You rent access. That trade-off gives convenience and flexibility, but also dependency. If a cloud service goes down, you feel it instantly. If policies change, you adapt. The cloud removes friction, but it also centralizes power. That's something worth understanding. Another thing the cloud enables is continuous updates. Software doesn't need reinstalling. Fixes roll out quietly. Features appear without action. This makes software feel alive. But it also means systems are always changing. You're never using a static product. You're using a service. At a deeper level, the cloud is about abstraction. You don't think about memory, or processors, or storage layout. You think in actions. Save this. Load that. Run this process. The cloud handles the rest. This separation is why modern technology feels simple on the surface and incredibly complex underneath. So when someone says it's stored in the cloud, what they really mean is it's stored on professionally managed computers in multiple locations, accessible over the internet, with redundancy and automation. That's it. No magic, no mystery, just infrastructure scaled up. Understanding the cloud matters because it explains how modern life works. Your photos, your messages, your backups, your work, they're not tied to a single object anymore. They live in systems designed to outlast individual machines. That shift changes how we think about data, ownership, and reliability. And once you see that, the cloud stops feeling abstract. It becomes understandable. Did you already know this is how it works? Or did something surprise you? And if there's something else you've always wondered how it works, leave it in the comments. Thank you for watching. Till next time.